Okay, we're trying this again.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we lost a really good episode that we shot last week. I mean,
It was an hour and 40
it
minutes.
was like a long time. We were on point. We looked great.
Learned a big lesson.
Right. I mean,
Let's say keep it on the desktop, man.
it does happen. I know. What did you just accidentally junked it, huh?
Well,
Trashed it.
I moved it into the file, and then it went. I had to make room, so I had to delete episodes.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
then I
what it was.
deleted a file within a file, and I guess within that file was the new video. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it sucked, and I tried so hard to get it back,
Yeah.
and I could not get it back.
Yeah, we tried to rent things to find it, and it's just not happening. So we're just gonna reshoot it, and we're just gonna be as adorable as ever. And luckily, not a ton of things have happened since last week, except for this crazy fire.
Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot about the Tesla truck, in a couple days. I haven't heard anything about the guy in New Orleans. I haven't heard anything about the Luigi dude. I haven't really heard a whole lot about anything but fires.
You know what I heard? I heard P. Diddy is pissed because Luigi is getting all the attention.
Oh, really?
They're in the same, they're in the same jail.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Or area, location. So I just think it's hilarious because, he's
getting mad because
he's getting none of the attention and none of the distraction. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just thought that was funny. Because, I mean, you're
I don't know why.
News.
He's just as handsome as Luigi. I don't know. Huh.
Ooh, his butt devil eyes. His eyes are like little buttholes or something.
It's weird.
I just don't like him. His
he's
eyes
a weird
are
looking
weird.
dude, really.
He is
when you really look
dude.
at him, you're like, this dude's
P. Diddy.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's not attractive.
No.
Now Luigi. Yeah, Bernie. Russell doesn't agree.
Everybody thinks so.
Russell doesn't agree that we should like Luigi.
Yeah,
I like him. But yeah, I was gonna say the whole fire thing. Yeah.
Well, I keep seeing them talking about like arsonists and stuff.
Right. So in the very beginning of the fires, it was said that an arsonist popped it off. In the very beginning, like right when it started. Then suddenly, I guess just for, climate change sake, they started changing the story around a little bit.
Oh.
Now it's back to, yes, there were some arsonists. I don't know if every single fire was caused by arsonists or if one popped off and then the embers caused more, who knows? I think they were in actually different random locations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've talked about arsonists in California wildfires for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's wild. It just... Russ, I'm telling you, you know how much I researched the Lahaina fires and all of that. It is by the book, exactly what they did. Now,
interesting.
Now sitting back and watching this natural disaster after North Carolina or natural disaster, I don't know. There's a part of me that realizes the direct energy weapons stuff is true and can be used. But then there's also a part of me that thinks that maybe just their shitty maintenance of these places and the way that they've redirected the money, when something pops off, then they can sit back and let it take effect. I mean, they don't have anything in place to stop these things from becoming worse than they are.
It obviously seems that way. I mean...
It's true.
Yeah.
They redirect the water.
There's no water in the fire hydrants?
No water in the fire hydrants.
What?
Now, I did a little bit of research on that because I was like, this is crazy because this is what happened in Lahaina, too. They would go to use the fire hydrants and they weren't there.
Yeah.
Well, so obviously when houses start to burn down and destruction starts to happen, and also when people leave their house, they don't turn their water or electricity off. So that makes it harder for the firefighters to actually get the water that they need, supposedly. Yeah. But they don't always have those hydrants on in case people don't turn their waters off and stuff like that.
Right.
Also, they have to be careful, as far as going back into the area because of other electricity, sparking problems and all this other stuff. But they are supposed to have water to fight a huge fire. It is California. They have these wildfires, literally every season. So why wouldn't they be prepared?
Well, I saw a video of power lines sparking just like they did in Hawaii.
Yep. Yeah.
What was that, PG&E or whatever, or P&G or something like that? In California is their big...
Oh, their electricity company?
Yeah.
I don't know. something like that.
PG&E or something like that. But like, yeah, they were showing sparking, just like, and the same thing. And I remember living in Florida and like driving along the highway, and they would have controlled burns.
Yes.
And that was the first time I ever really saw that. And
Yeah.
I was like, the woods are on fire, but I realized later that like they do that to keep the brush low.
Right.
Well, I don't understand why they don't do that in California.
Right. And then those news clips of Trump saying that, like, you should burn.
From back in the day, yeah.
Well, just like when he was president.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he was talking, to Gavin Newsom in one of the videos, and he was talking about how, because the wildfire.
Yeah, he was concerned about it.
And saying, like, these other countries, also Finland, oh my God, amazing. I was doing some research on Finland the other day.
Oh, really?
And yes, because they keep so many things clean. They keep everything is picked up. Of course, they're much smaller. Obviously, those right. Scandinavian countries are so small like that. The Finland and Norway and all that kind of stuff. But like 53% of hardworking people's taxes go to the country, or to the government.
No way.
But they do such good things with their money that nobody minds. Like they actually clean up their.
It's what goes to what it's supposed to go to.
What it's supposed
Can
to
you
go
imagine
to.
that?
Wouldn't that be cool? And even like couples get like baby time off. Both of them do if they have a bit like 6 months or a year, like a long time. But anyway, Trump was talking about how, you're supposed to clean up all of that brush. I didn't think about that until he said that.
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
You're supposed to keep things clean and out from underneath the forest canopy
or wildfires.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And like,
I know, it's so
they
sad.
let all the reserves dry up. And
yeah. Well, there's one reserve in particular, not the state reserves, but the where was this big fire at?
The Palisades.
That one.
Yeah.
So they had a reserve that apparently was empty. Why it was empty, I don't know, but it was empty. But then Newsom is saying, that was just one. But still, why is it empty? And obviously they've been redirecting all of the water to the ocean, and there's different things. I mean, they've been doing this all over our country, saving water and redirecting it to the rich people and leaving the shitty areas ready for a forest fire. I mean,
to wipe it out.
To wipe it out, I think. To just buy,
beachfront properties, man.
No.
It's crazy. I wonder how many celebrities are pretty pissed.
I hope a lot.
And
I hope a lot.
I wonder a lot of them are waking up going, well, maybe we're not a part of the club that we thought we were a part of.
Right, because at the end of the day, we're all level, right?
Yeah.
We're all able to be leveled. And if you're not like sitting in some elite tunnel, they're not going to give two shits about you.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there are a lot of celebrities who got hit. I mean, that whole area is celebrities. And it's funny to see them on TV. Like, I keep seeing clips of them and TikTok and all that crap. And they're just talking about it. And it's like, it's awful. Like, why does stuff have to happen to us?
Yeah.
In order
to make change.
For us to wake up.
Or, well,
any of us. It's weird.
Yeah, because I watched Mel Gibbs on...
I did too.
On there,
he seemed a little keyed up to me, but
yeah, it was kind of crazy, wasn't he? But he was dropping some stuff like some very suspicious. He was pretty sus about it.
Yeah. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are. And, a lot of the celebrities I'm seeing, because there's some channel on YouTube that, like, collects all of the TikTok videos from celebrities and they'll line them up,
Yeah.
And so I'm watching all of those and, they're dropping stuff off, the ones that can. And, the firefighters are being helped. And apparently lots of firefighters from all over the country are coming in. Did you see where the really rich people got to hire their own firefighters?
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
If that's real, that's insane. But I mean, I guess if you're off duty,
dude, I mean, if you can do it and all your crap's getting burnt up, I'd be like, let me write the checkbook. Let me get the checkbook out.
Yeah. Well, I know, and listen, a fire, when some of our really good friends had their house burned down several years ago, and I've never been in a situation like that where everything's gone, and that's the hardest part. Is it wasn't like Melissa and Jason. It wasn't like they missed like anything fancy. It was like her pictures from her kids' childhood
back in the day,
and all of those.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, total sense. And then you think, well, what would I take? Like, what would you take besides your dog, you think?
I mean...
Just your dog.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I would probably take. I mean, it makes me think. Well, maybe I need a little safety box with some of this stuff. But I mean, we have a plan. Like, I would take some pictures for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe some of like mom's journals or like things like that. Maybe the family tree that we have.
Well, it's interesting that it's the area that it is, and that so many celebrities. I did see Tom Hanks' house is okay though.
Oh, good. Are all those people inviting a bunch of homeless people that are out in the streets to come live in their homes?
I highly doubt it.
Wouldn't that be wild if they started to do that? Like in the winter time? Like if people open their homes to these homeless people? I mean, the whole thing's a mess, and I just keep looking at everything like, golly, to me, it's God trying to get everyone's attention. It really is. And then just like, the natural disasters and the rumors of war. And
I've never seen so many natural disasters in a 4-year span that I have in this administration.
It has been
I've never seen so much crazy shit happen.
I know.
It has
been a lot. No, because I went back to, and even if you study throughout history, a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our grandparents, they went through the Depression. They went through a lot of stuff where at the time they probably thought it was the end of the world as well. Yeah. But if you take a look, zoom out and see everything happening all at once, and then add on top of it the political disaster and the want for everyone to like be their own independent lord and say like nobody wants that either, as a whole. So it's just interesting how everything's like coming together.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
Since COVID. Yeah. COVID, they've had this agenda in effect for 30 years, but once them loosey-goosey lefties got in there, they went for it. They were like, let's bring this whole, no borders, no sex, no this, no that on, no sexual, like men and women.
What else is kind of crazy about those fires is that like a lot of the insurance companies are pulling out of fire protection for a lot of these people too, because of the regulations that they're facing in California.
Yes, I know, and that's the neat thing though. It's like my prayer has been exposed, like expose me, expose you, expose the world, expose everything that we need exposure for, to be able to get as close to our authentic humanity as possible. And those red tapes that those different states put people through, all those company owners, that's what Elon and all them gripe about, is that there's so much red tape to even get a company started or to rebuild. It showed Gavin Newsom had put in order to like forget the red tape and let people rebuild really quickly as much as possible.
Oh, really?
So apparently it's hard as hell to build a store, to build a home, to build a restaurant, to get any kind of clearance or permits or
especially in California.
Yeah, in California especially. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why.
I don't. Well, and I saw a video from a couple years back, and the guy was talking about. It was a whole video about a smart city in California.
Oh yeah.
That's in LA. Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Dude, that's crazy.
I mean, if I want to get really funky about it.
You want to get wild?
If I want to get really wild about it. They're changing everything up, and they're shutting certain parts of the country off.
Hawaii and California.
And they want right up they want the ocean front.
Yeah.
They want to be able to come in on this side from North Carolina and go up that way. They want to be able to go Hawaii. They want to be able to go California. Florida and Texas feel safe just because we have so much resistance here, but resist. No. I don't know, but I mean, I think that, if there's a big plan, evil plan, that it's definitely starting to happen. Down. It's definitely happening.
It's been going down.
I know, but
it's crazy.
You're not going to win, so.
What today's the 13th, right?
It is.
So we got 7 days until.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting.
Have they approved a lot of his nominations, or are they still? It starts doing
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Tomorrow starts the nominations. Sure. Yep, and then they'll go through whatever. This is for sure. I've even paid attention to that. I think it's so cool that they have to go through that.
Yeah.
But tomorrow starts the nominations. They're still saying that Tulsi, for whatever reason, and RFK are going to have a hard problem.
Really?
A hard time. But we'll see. What were you just saying? Nominations. God. Oh, did you see the lip reading thing with Trump and Obama?
I kept seeing it, but like.
Did you see the official one?
No.
Oh, dude, I gotta send it to you.
Oh, really?
It's like, so they use this technology, you know, AI technology, lip reading technology, and then they put their actual voices to it. And I mean, it's awesome.
Is it?
It's basically them, you know, joking around with each other, talking a little shit, but then when that hussy comes walking out, what's her name? Kamala.
Yeah.
When she starts walking out and she sits down, and then Obama leans over and he says, look, she won't even look at me. And Trump's like, oh yeah. And he goes, I heard she fell off the wagon. And Obama says, yeah, she may have.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I don't know, Russ. It looks really legit.
Interesting.
And it's not like some person. It's like actual AI. Yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe they, you know.
Who knows, man?
And
I mean, everybody was talking about that, them just cutting up. And
I know. It was cool. And then he says, whenever Trump makes him crack up and laugh, it's because he leans over and says, Hillary will never forgive me. And he says something about Hillary, and then Obama kind of chuckles to that, and he's like, oh yeah, no, never.
Well, she's sitting down the row like this with her big old hair.
She looks crazy. They all look pitiful.
That's crazy.
You know who looked good was Bush and his wife.
Oh yeah.
They look all right.
They were talking about
old people.
There was that clip of him walking by, and he smacks Obama on the belly, and people are like, "Whoa, what's he smacking Obama?" And it's like, dude, they're like cousins or something.
They're brother,
They're like, related.
That's their what's up.
Yeah.
They're also presidents of the United States. Are total homies.
Yeah.
They've also been behind the scenes in this elite.
I bet Trump was like
churning.
You thought you could get me, didn't you?
He did. He pretty much said that. He was like,
I would.
Oh, I wish I could play it. Yeah, he basically is like, congratulations. Like Obama says that, and he's like, you know, I knew you were gonna win. And Trump's like, oh yeah, and he kind of laughs at it, and he says, and then Obama calls her horrendous.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun to think that.
It was interesting, man,
Mm-hmm.
and like. Then wasn't Jill sitting next to Kamala during that too?
They didn't look at each other, which was so weird.
Yeah.
I even noticed that right when I first watched it, and they hadn't even said anything about it. I was like, nobody's like warm to each other.
No.
I mean, not that, you know, elites would be that warm, but you would think that they would like, I know.
Yeah.
Good for the Bidens for being pissed about
that.
Yeah. Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's obviously not happy about it at all.
And Kamala seems like she's always been unpopular.
Yeah.
And so she almost was the popular girl, and now she's back to being you know, the leftover out of the group.
Yeah.
Nobody likes her.
No.
So
it's pretty interesting.
I know. It's so funny to me. But we're close. We got to get there.
7 more days.
7 more days. We'll see. I think 7 days of complete debacle is going to happen.
We'll see if the bird flu jumps off.
The bird flu, the war is going to jump off. I mean, I pray not, but I think the war is going to jump off even more.
Yeah.
But then you hear certain reporting about how, you know, Trump is very respected and people are looking forward to making a deal with him.
Right.
So
I would think so. I would think some of these foreign leaders would be like, thank God, man.
Yeah, because, you
these
know,
people
war,
are nuts.
besides the people that make the weapons, it's so hard on everyone else. I mean, they're killing all their people.
Yeah,
you kill all your people.
It's ridiculous, man. Like just like we were saying last time. I mean, how much more can you bomb a little strip of
I don't know
area?
I don't get it.
How much more can you?
I'll never understand
continue
that.
Bombing.
Like, isn't 3 miles, 7 miles? Is it not bombed to smithereens by now?
Yeah.
Even if it's 15 miles, Lord it's been over a year and a half.
It's crazy.
Or
man.
a year.
How much more can you? Just
I don't know.
wipe people out. I don't know, man.
I don't know, but it is a genocide. And, you know, it's a lot of confusing thoughts about that. And I heard somebody say today that nowadays we know a little about a lot of subjects and we know a little bit about a lot of subjects, but we don't know a lot about one subject.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about that and how, like, you know, there's all these different subjects and categories and things that are going on and how we just kind of touch our toe in it a little bit and you try to understand what's happening in the world and how this all works. But if you go back in history and start
it's a lot more complex.
It's a lot more complex.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more perspectives.
A lot more going on than I will ever understand.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I know, but we can try to understand it. But what's weird to me about the whole Gaza and Israel and the Middle East and all that is obviously it's also biblical. So it's like so convoluted and so hard to discern like what is right and what's wrong.
Well, it's like that's like what I think was that Mike Flynn was saying was that, or no, it wasn't him. It was another general, but he was talking about how they had a plan to take over 7 countries in a 5-year span. In the Middle East. So
that somebody
NATO
mentioned
and
that
the U.S.
And I heard NATO is the same thing as the UN? Isn't that the same thing? United Nations and NATO.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Supposedly, which you and I have talked about 100 times, but they're the ones that decide what's actually going to go down.
Yeah.
And I guess they're the ones that plan all the wars.
Oh, it's like, yeah, absolutely. Remember, it was like I was saying, watch that whole video about Switzerland and how they had all the tunnels dug into it and the bunkers and all these cannons sticking out. And it's like, that's where all the bankers are.
That's where they're all going to go, too.
That makes sense then. If they don't mind some shit popping off because they're going to go run into the Swiss Alps. Because they think they're protected. Yeah.
And that's going to be the big ha-ha on them as it's starting to unfold, is that just because you have all of this stuff does not mean that you're not going to be exposed and that you're not going to be harmed, I mean, as far as like...
I find that interesting.
It is interesting, the Switzerland thing.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Massive. I mean, it was so intriguing. It was like tunnels all throughout it. And then like every entry was hidden and looked just like a part of the mountain.
Yes.
It was
and then it folds down and like cannons come up over. I saw that.
Crazy.
That was really a neat.
They started digging it, I think, during World War One. They started doing the excavating and digging in there. It's pretty interesting.
Getting prepped, huh?
Getting ready.
Getting ready.
Yeah, last week we were talking about Biden giving that Medal of Freedom award to Hillary and George Soros.
Oh my God, that was awful. Yeah, I know. We're trying to remember what we did last week. But yeah, that was terrible.
Those two. It's interesting.
It's just so wild that all of these people are still trying to I don't know, act like everything's normal.
Yeah.
And like you should honor and give somebody an award.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of this disaster of a life that I was having. I don't know. I mean, I guess it felt weird, especially the people he chose to give the award to, obviously.
Yeah. George Soros of all people.
Have you noticed that the drones are nowhere in the news?
Yeah, there's nothing now. Just completely. Mm-hmm. Have you been on TikTok and looked at like any videos or I haven't.
I have. Well, only because Trump said in an I've been watching a lot of Trump interviews. I mean, the recent ones.
Yeah.
But the last news conference he had at Mar-a-Lago with his buddies around the table, he talked about the drones.
Oh.
And he said, again, I'll have a report ready for y'all the day after he starts or whatever he's going to try to. He said, give him a minute. But he says out loud, I don't know why our government won't just tell you.
Yeah, why they won't say something.
What's going on.
Huh.
Obviously Trump knows or has been informed what's going on.
Yeah.
I still think they're a foreign source. I mean, people keep saying they're not. I think they are. I think they're a foreign source. I think it's going to be a way to, who knows? It could be starting fires for all we know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're for.
Laser beams.
I don't know what they're for, but they're still there. And they're all, anyways, my point was the governors at his table, the Virginia governor, there was
Youngkin.
They all, is that his name?
Yeah, Glenn Youngkin.
I can't remember names.
Yeah.
They all said that they had drones in their skies and they didn't know what they were for.
Interesting, man.
Very. So.
Well, yeah, you don't hear anything about that, and that was very intriguing for a week or two.
And they're still there.
But I want to know what's up. I mean, are there still what did I call them? Not portals.
Plasma orbs. Yeah.
Where my orbs at?
Where my orbs at? Where my orbs at?
Where my orbs at? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you're right. Where my orbs at?
Where my orbs at?
No, it's so true. They're there. They've gotten us used to them, so I guess they're out of the news now.
Crazy.
Until the next laser
Project Blue Beam.
I know, Russell.
Faking an alien invasion.
Make it stop.
Well, that's why I was listening
I
to
don't get it.
PBD podcast, and they were talking about a warning of like, they said January 9th, January 19th, or January 20th.
Yep.
Might be some snaz
There
going
will
down.
be. It's going to pop off.
Some skineebs.
There is. I mean, especially like, and I'm all over the place today, but also Melania Trump wrote that book, and she, it went really well, the bestseller that everyone was making fun of. I think Melania is precious. But she also has a reality show coming out because she wanted to pull the what is it called, curtain back on the administration and like how the transition works for the White House. She said the first time that they went into the White House, no one wanted to tell them how to transition and stuff. Now she has like a transition team and she knows what's happening. So instead of just trying to report it or get through all these false reports, she's recording the whole thing for us to watch later.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that cool?
Interesting.
To see how it is to transition. She said that whenever you become the president at the inauguration, I cannot say that word.
Inauguration.
That one. She said that there's 5 days. You have 5 days for the Bidens to be out and 5 days for them to be in.
Huh?
Pretty intense. And you get, your
Joe's gonna
furniture. Joe's going to be...
Oh.
That fucking guy. What's the last thing he started? He tried to talk. He tried to talk at that funeral, and it was horrific. I watch all of his when he talks. I make sure to watch them too, just to see. He tried to give a eulogy.
Where he was. I just saw that clip where they were asking him about the fires, and he's like, "Good news is I'm a great grandpa."
Oh, that was so weird.
Get him, Joe.
I mean, read the room.
Yeah.
Read the temperature.
I'll tell you some good news. I'm a
grandpa. And he said something about, my whoever it is, whoever his relatives are that are having babies. I don't know. Was it Hunter? I don't know who's having kids. But anyway. I think it was
his granddaughter.
He said, Jack. He also said they lived in California, but their house didn't burn down. I was like, you're an idiot. Like, you're a real fucking idiot. But that just goes to show you no one talks to him and no one tells him what's really going on. They're just like, let's just keep it. Know. Let's just keep him out of the loop.
He don't know what's up.
Him no know.
Him no know what's up.
Him no know. Oh, and last time I told you about the mirror cell technology. That is something that scientists have discovered that they can create. So they could do a new version of humanity. Mm-hmm. It's called the mirror cell. They don't have the technology quite yet, but it's so intense that the group of scientists that are involved, stopped the project. Because they were like,
I think I heard something about that. I told
you about it last week.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember what I talked about last week.
Was it like hologram particles, kind of, or something like that?
I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a new quantum cell discovery going on, or I forgot what they call it, but it's almost like proof that there is a God, and two things can be at the same time. It's very hard to explain. I'm not going to attempt it. But anyway, and then there's the mirror cell theory, which is, I mean, basically they've been able to generate, how like they try to make life, we always hear that they try to recreate life, but they don't have that one cell to pop off.
Oh yeah.
The life cell. Yeah. So
like when a sperm hits the egg too, it lights up. It does. They were showing a video of it, like it flashes.
Yeah. So all of those key ingredients will keep whatever they create from being a real thing.
Sentient.
But they are having the technology is becoming so readily available, but that the scientists in a particular college that's working on them came out and said publicly, we don't need to reinvent this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good for humanity.
I saw something the other day about, I saw something the other day about AI and how it was like, AI was like, if it stumbled, it learned how to correct itself or something. And it's like, dude.
Did you hear about the AI that the computer said it was going to crash, and instead of shutting down, it regenerated itself? Oh, no. It just happened not very long ago, like literally within weeks ago. But they somehow they realized that, like, they were all, whoever they were all panicking about it because the computer program itself like regenerated instead of dying when it was supposed to. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Dude.
Well, because we're going to outsmart ourselves. Now, the thing is that human touch, I mean, there's nothing that can replace that, right? But we're going to end up, I mean, all these computer programs now teach themselves. Yeah. So they're just going to teach themselves not to ever go away or something.
I don't know.
Well, we have enough movies, fictional movies, to show us what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah, I know it. I don't know, dude. That stuff scares the crap out of me.
Well,
Skynet.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Yes.
The Matrix.
All of that. It's all real.
No,
That's what's so scary about it. It's all foreshadowing. And they've known, like, they've had this technology for 100 years, maybe 50 years. Like, they're always way ahead of the game. That's probably where they get their imagination to begin with, these people that are in, like, the Pentagon movie department in Hollywood.
Here's some sci-fi nerd fiction stuff.
Okay.
The lady who wrote Terminator also wrote the Matrix trilogies.
Really?
And the Matrix is supposed to be set, I think,
I thought the Matrix was
before.
written by a man.
No, it's a woman. It was a woman. I've seen a video where she's talking about, like, the Matrix was supposed to be before the Terminator.
Oh.
And then the Terminator is what happens when the robots. Anyway, it's
Oh.
either way, it's very creepy, and it is doesn't end too well.
I wonder where
humans.
she's from.
For humans.
Like if she went to college or if she has any kind of...
I can't remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look it up. But yeah.
I'll have to look that up too, because she might know something. Somebody might have given her some knowledge that we don't know about.
Drop some bombs.
With sugar?
I'm trying to quit. Oh,
you said that you were going to quit.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Not well. I keep getting cheesecake or...
Oh, yeah.
You know,
nighttime sugar
yeah.
craves.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm
working on it.
I feel you. Me too. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
I'm working on my health. I got up and did yoga this morning. We're going to work out tonight. We're going now. This is like the second week only that we've been working out consistently. I feel a little bit better, sleeping a little bit better, but now I'm super focused on health. Like I'm trying to figure out how to be the healthiest version of me that I can.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard.
I know. How are you sleeping?
I mean, I'm sleeping a lot.
You are sleeping a lot, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Huh. Do you feel nauseous or anything else?
No, just sleepy.
Just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tired.
It's midlife, dude.
Yeah.
It's probably just midlife.
I need some energies.
God, I wish it worked. I wish I didn't have to rely on like Red Bull and vitamins all the time. Vitamins aren't bad for you though.
No.
Okay. What else? Oh, also, I mentioned this last week, but I was reading an article about parents who are making a movement now to where they're teaching their children how to garden, to put together guns, to take apart guns, to butcher
some serious
animals.
Homeschool
some
shit.
serious home. Yeah.
Dude, I saw
homegrown.
I saw some. Sorry, I don't mean to jump
No, you're
in there.
fine.
I saw something where it was showing a bunch of Amish families went down to go rebuild houses in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you know the
Amish
Amish voted for Trump? Did you know the Amish usually don't vote, and apparently the Amish came out to vote?
Really?
Was last time they were so worried about society.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Isn't that neat? Yeah.
Cast your vote, Jebediah.
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 Josiah.
Josiah,
Jebediah.
we must go vote, Josiah. Since 2020, we had the Lahaina fires. We had the container that got struck up in Baltimore.
Okay.
The Baltimore container.
We had the train derail.
Yes, the Palestine, East Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah.
Then we had the
North Carolina stuff.
Yeah, the hurricane from like Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina,
through Georgia and everything.
And then now the fires and
now the fires.
And I'm sure I'm missing some, but dude, that's a lot of.
It is.
In 4 year span.
It's a lot of environmental damage too for all of their bitching about global warming.
You could and you could even throw in the Nord Stream pipeline.
Yes, you could. Tell me about that.
That's the one where it was Russia's pipeline and it got blown up
by
and
us,
they were
probably.
for sure.
Yeah.
And they were sitting there saying that Russia blew up their own pipeline.
Yeah.
But that apparently is like the biggest disaster, like environmental disaster I think ever. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
And see, you don't hear about that either. Remember whenever back in the day there was that big oil rig in Houston because our Uncle Benny was a part of it. It blew up. You heard about that for years.
Yeah.
Like you heard about
Yeah.
that a lot, and the environmental damage. And then there was that one like big rig in the ocean that's the oil spill.
Yeah, the BP oil spill.
Yeah,
I think.
you heard that was like a huge
Pretty
concern. So it's interesting that like when these things happen now,
Yeah.
you don't really
Think about
hear.
I mean, I wonder what kind of damage that caused, that pipeline,
Yeah, I know, gosh.
to the sea life, and
So crazy.
it's ridiculous.
I
man.
think it all boils down to them hiring the wrong people. I mean, they keep talking about that, the, diversity thing,
Oh,
that it's just ruined, like just
a
natural.
lot of people are backstepping on that one.
Yeah, they are, and they're getting rid of the Oh, I wanted to talk about Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuckerbucks.
Did you watch his podcast?
I some of it,
Rogan's?
like half of it.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, well, obviously you can't trust him because he did what the government wanted him to do,
Yeah.
which is not good. I think he should be like held accountable for that a little bit, But I am glad that he's coming out saying that the Biden government 100% told him.
He's like, I'm cool, y'all. I'm cool.
I know. But it's seriously, like the fact that he came out and told on the government, and the fact that that actually happened, that alone, do you know how they denied that forever?
Yeah.
That was not true. That all of us saying that were absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I've had so many people tell me like, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, Trump's just talking out his ass. No, it's all coming to fruition. It all happened. The cover-up was
Comes
real.
out 5 years later.
I know. It's so annoying that they do that.
They wait good 5 years. All right, we'll go ahead and let this out of the bag.
I know. Well,
even though
thank God
everybody already knows it.
Even though everybody already knows it. And I don't know if I guess it's just because we're so inundated with so much information that we just move on so quickly.
Yeah, shit's happened so fast too. It's like.
And it all sounds so weird that it's like when weird shit happens, it's not that weird anymore.
It's like, okay, release the hounds.
The hounds?
Yeah, there's that meme from Dr. Evil. And she's like, it's the chick that's on, Dr. Evil's team, and she's like, release the hounds. There's that meme they always say, but they'll say like, set the houses on fire.
Oh, I see. It's funny how many men base their life experience off of
memes and movie quotes.
Quotes and superhero movies.
Well, I'm more of the movie. I'm more of the 80s and I'm more of John Hughes, Pretty in Pink.
Well, me too.
I'm just kidding. The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh man, the 90s.
They were
the
so
80s and the 90s.
I know.
Yeah, movies were sweet.
Movies were so
They're
sweet.
not as sweet anymore.
No, they're raunchy.
They're really weird.
But they're not raunchy in a fun way. Remember, even the 80s and 90s movies were like perverted, but in a hilarious way,
Yeah.
And you could make fun of each other, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it's all coming back, too. It's all going to come back. It's all coming back. Why are we always singing on
I don't
here?
know.
It's the microphone effect.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else. Anything else?
That's about it. I did watch that documentary about Chris Farley that really hit me hard.
I know. Tell me about it.
It was good. It was good.
It?
He did a lot of stuff that he didn't tell anybody about that were like good deeds.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, he's a
Trump
tortured soul. Yeah, he's a tortured soul though.
I know why. Was it all drugs? You think, or
I know insecurities maybe. I don't know. Insecurities
can really be the devil. They really can. They make us do a lot of things we wouldn't normally do.
Those damn insecurities are for the devil.
They're for the devil. Let's just take it straight to Jesus, honey. It's all boiling down to heaven and hell for me. This whole thing. It's just all
boiling down to that. Yeah.
It's all boiling down
good
to
good and evil.
Good and evil.
We've got good and evil.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this stuff coming up, though. We'll see.
See what happens.
I mean, it's scary, but it's also really exciting and enlightening.
See what happens.
Who cares?
See what happens.
If you want to. I mean, if you want to elect a new president and put in evil people and whatever.
See what happens, baby.
Nerd.
Oh man. Well, yeah, we'll try it again next Monday.
Okay. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Okay. What do you think? It just wiped you out. It's allergies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sinuses.
You
get older.
Yeah. White people and sinuses, am I right? All right, people. I don't know. That's all we got for y'all today.
Yep.
But we sure do love that you're watching.
Alrighty. Deuces.
Pray.